Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, it appears that we've had the last couple minutes, the last couple times, a lot of people are asking a lot of questions. We've seen periods of lots of momentum for the Kamala Harris campaign, where the Harris campaign seems to get a lot of money, but at the same time, the Harris campaign took huge suffering defeats in multiple polls, even in liberal polls, which concerned pollsters like MSNBC and CNN, thinking, is Kamala Harris really the right candidate to beat Trump? In fact, they're probably a lot of people have, not only the media but other politicians have speculated this, and they're probably going to say, you know what, maybe Kamala is not the right candidate. But like I said, I think what's done is done. You got rid of Joe Biden, and you have to have a legitimate reason to get rid of Joe Biden. And you know what? The American people, it's divided upon that, but the Biden's age was the reason. Biden's age was the excuse. It was legitimate, but they didn't come out and say, oh, because of Biden's mental decline. Instead, they said Biden has COVID. And Biden, not only Biden, but his family had COVID like 3 times in his presidency. So why now? The American people aren't dumb. And they're really praying that we fell for it, but we didn't. We didn't fell for it. Instead, what we're now accusing, we know they bound the knee, because we knew it was pretty obvious. It first started off with U.S. senators, then U.S. congressmen in the House, basically Democrats. The assassination happened, and after the assassination, you got executive officials, you got leaders of the Democrat Party, you got Chuck Schumer, you got Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, and most importantly, the almighty in the Democrat Party, Barack Obama. Barack Obama has spoken, and that was the last straw for Joe Biden. So he had no choice but to withdraw. And it's funny because normally, if you had the good coordinates to tell us what's going on, and you really care about how you lead your country and being a good leader, being a good leader would mean you going out of your way and telling us the situation. Guys, here's the situation. Here's how we make it better. They didn't do that. They just said, we're going to withdraw, and they told us Kamala Harris is going to replace him. And we were probably thinking, okay, how is she going to become the nominee? Oh, she just is. And in a day, she is projected the presumptive nominee and is set to win in the national convention. I'm like, how? And this is why we call her COUPMALA Harris, the new name that Donald Trump gave Kamala Harris at his rally. And it's true, COUPMALA Harris. And don't tell me it's racist to say it, because it's not. It's true. Maybe, and I wouldn't say that Kamala Harris orchestrated the coup, because I don't, no offense, but I don't think she's competent to orchestrate a coup. The Democrats did. The Democrat establishment orchestrated a coup. They came together, orchestrated the coup, and literally forced Biden out. And basically said, all right, we're not a democracy. We don't believe in voting. We're a monarchy in some case. We are a dynasty. We have a succession line. We eliminate the current guy. The next guy, or in this case the girl, the vice president, becomes the new leader. And they have this all planned out. This is what monarchies do. They have their future leaders all planned out, guys. They already knew. Get rid of Joe Biden, Kamala goes in because she's next in line. Well, in a democracy, Kamala Harris would have to be voted in to vote to be. She would have to be voted on. Oh, but she is being voted on, yeah. Like by 1,000 people, 4,000 people at the National Convention. Compared to 14 million people that voted for Joe Biden, the Democrat establishment raised the middle finger at those 14 million voters. The voters that didn't even need to bother to go up and show up and vote for Joe Biden. They showed up because they loved Joe Biden. I don't even know why they love him, but to show up and vote in an election where you're going to win anyway, that really does show that you have a really hardcore belief, a passion in the Biden campaign. Not just probably in the Biden campaign, it's just in the Democrat party in general. So you show up and then after these primaries, we get the debate, and we finally realize that Joe Biden's not that competent anyhow. And it's not really Joe Biden's decision to really continue this, because believe it or not, we can say that the Democrat establishment is violating Joe Biden's basic rights. It is a right to run for president. It is a right to seek office. It is a constitutional right. In our Constitution, it's a right to seek office, etc. I am unaware what the article is, but I'm going to stop looking that stuff up. Really get on track, but yes, it's a right to seek public office and by an election. And you have the establishment, big, powerful people, not just one or two. You got over 50 people in the establishment forcing you to step down. And Joe Biden's like, I don't have a point. This is like the oppressive, like a dictator regime like in Venezuela or Belarus, for example. The 2020 presidential election in Belarus. This is exactly how it went. We're just going to bring it up because this is how the Democrat coup happened. The election of 2020 in Belarus. Alexander Lukashenko, the dictator of Belarus since the second president and the dictator of Belarus since 2000. He's been dictator as longer as I have been alive. Then you have this lady right here, Svtlana. I can't even pronounce your name. We can Google translate it. Maybe if I Google translate, it will do better. Google translate.
Svtlana Tikhanovskaya.
Yeah, it's like, let's say that again. Say that.
Svtlana Tikhanovskaya.
Tikhanovskaya. Okay, yeah. It's kind of hard.
Svtlana Tikhanovskaya.
Siva. We're just going to call her Siva. We're just going to call you Siva. If you're Belarusian, I know you guys understand. But yeah, we're calling you Siva. So yes, this is Siva right here. And she, basically, similar situation like we are in right now. The original, Lukashenko's original opponent was Siva's husband. And Siva's husband is a YouTuber. He's actually Sergey, and he was actually arrested. He is a YouTuber. This is his channel. Give him some love for his YouTube channel.
Lukashenko объявил.
But yes. Okay, maybe he's out of prison now. He's out of prison, it looks like, and he's and I want to believe he's in Lithuania. Otherwise, if he's making these videos of propaganda against Lukashenko, then he would probably be in jail more. But yes, there's a reason why he's in Lithuania. But yes, this is him. He was Lukashenko's opponent. He declared to file the run, but it wasn't even fair because once he filed his run, Lukashenko jailed him. He arrested him after Sergei was participated in an anti-Lukashenko protest. All right, with no one else to replace Sergei's husband, Siva, decided to enter the race herself against Lukashenko. Lukashenko, I think there was a law forbidding women from running. Actually, no, there is no law. But anyway, Lukashenko had some sort of sexist attitude, thinking he felt no threat. He wasn't threatened by Siva, and she's like, okay, I'll let you run, even though you're the spouse of this traitor. He would probably throw her in jail too. But I'm going to let you run and see if you are actually competent. So she was kind of making fun. And of course, you can understand that this election was kind of rigged to a point. 81% for Lukashenko, 10% for Shiva. I'm just calling Shiva. And as a result, winning this landslide election, Lukashenko arrests Shiva and sends both her and her husband to Lithuania, into an exile. Ever since, Shiva and Sergei have been living as free men and women, free man and free woman in Lithuania. In fact, Lithuania went as far as recognizing Shiva as the official president of Belarus. No other country has recognized that, and that really does affect the relationship between Lithuania and Belarus. The reason why I'm telling this story, guys, because this has so much similarities to the Biden coup, the coup that was launched on Joe Biden by the Democrat. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, you're just talking about something else." No, guys, no. This is history. History is repeating itself, but it's in American politics. You see the difference, guys? Yeah, so yeah, Siva is actually now a activist. She's now the president, officially the president of the Coordination Council of Belarus. That's basically Free Belarus. If you guys are interested into flags, let's see, Free Belarus. Yeah, Free Belarus is basically an exiled state, and its capital is technically in Lithuania because that's where the president. And this is the flag of Free Belarus. It flies with the Ukrainian flag, and it basically stands against the Lukashenko regimes and Putin regimes. But yes, this is this is the original flag of Belarus until the new flag. I'm a huge flag fan, by the way. This flag right here, the current flag, this current flag of Belarus was actually made in favor of Lukashenko. This flag is specifically a Lukashenko flag because this was never the Belarus flag. This is the original Belarus flag. White, red stripe, white. Free Belarus. But yeah, so then Lukashenko comes and he adopts this flag. Sort of like the Soviet Union. Then the Soviet Union collapsed and they bring back that old flag. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm starting to get distracted. But anyway, that's my bad. But the point is, same thing how that went out. What's the similarities and differences? Well, just like the Democrats they were saying, hey, supposedly Biden is Shiva, playing the role of Shiva. And the Democrats are saying, sure, you can run in this said election. Instead of an election, it was a debate. The difference, though, was in the Belarus election, Shiva met her expectation. She obviously lost. In fact, I bet Lukashenko was a little surprised that she got over 10%, but the expectation was met. Shiva lost, and she was arrested as a result. And then you have Joe Biden, who ended up losing the debate. However, that was not the expectation, not according to the Biden's handlers and the Democrat Party in general. And as a result, it took a while, but he's overthrown. He's pressured to drop out, and he's out. The point of the matter is, all this was the people in both the Belarus election and the US election had no say of the result. Because originally, the people backed Sergei. The people backed Sergei. People supported him. And then here comes Lukashenko, and he says, no, you are not going to run against me because you oppose my government. And he arrests you. He literally dismantles his whole campaign. Similar to what the Democrats did to Biden's campaign. The people originally voted for Joe Biden in the Democrat primaries, but here comes the Democrat establishment. They go and clap, put their big fat hands on him, and just destroy the whole campaign in general. Frustrating, right? And here's the new guy. The new face is Kamala Harris. In Belarus, the new face is his wife, Sergei's wife, Siva. So you get what I'm saying. This is the coup that a lot of people have a hard time understanding. If you are biased to the left, or you're just a Democrat Party NPC, you will just choose not to understand, or you understand, or you're just programmed not to accept and rationally use your brain and compare and contrast. So we know how it is. Come on. So yes, interesting stuff. So the question is Kamala Harris beatable? A lot of people, I've met a lot of people, mixture of people. People are saying, I don't know, but Joe Biden, this isn't worth it. Joe Biden should have been in office. Joe Biden should have been the nominee. And to be honest, being a democratic country and wanting America and its democracy to thrive, I think Joe Biden should have been the nominee. And I think the Democrats taking out Joe Biden without the approval of the people, that it should have been a ballot measure, guys, a referendum. They could have done it yesterday. No, 2 days ago, on Tuesday, some random Tuesday, and all Democrats could go to the polls across the country and vote in this referendum. We don't have to make it a complicated primary. Just vote in a referendum. Do you think Joe Biden should drop out? Yes or no? That's all it is. Make it a ballot measure, referendum. But they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do that because they didn't want the people to choose someone that they didn't like, aka someone that didn't give them enough money, or someone that they can't trust on. So they just chose Kamala Harris. Plus, she's in the secession line anyway. Come on, Harris. Harris can go ahead and do it. But then this is triggering a lot of backlash from moderates, specifically libertarians. Libertarians are like, if this ever happened to us, we would revolt. And it's true. Guys, can you imagine if this happened to Trump? Like, for example, Donald Trump was indicted or convicted during the primaries. And I'm sure he has. He has, I believe. And the GOP could have said, we're calling on Trump to stand down. They started hoarding on Trump to stand down. And he eventually drops out and suspends his campaign. And then the GOP picks this new guy, and they tell us, hey, go out and vote for this new face. That would be kind of demanding, right? That is straight authoritarianism. And I know I know the MAGA people would not tolerate that. Are you kidding? Getting rid of Donald Trump, forcing him out, and replacing him with someone that's totally different, and demanding us to go out and vote for this person? I would be insulted. I didn't stand in a line for that person. That's what matters. So Democrats should be in flames right now. They should be infuriated, but instead they're not. They're not programmed to be infuriated. They're programmed to follow the Democrat Party. They are NPCs. Everyone says go support Kamala Harris. What do they start doing? They start donating and endorsing Kamala Harris. This is the thing. The Democrat Party is an NPC political party. It is the truth. And just to go ahead, we're going to go ahead and take a look at one of Kamala Harris's awful record. Yes, Kamala, watching this is probably the best ad overall I've ever seen from the Trump campaign. Specifically because it's just Kamala's record in general. We do not have to attack Kamala for her personal life, guys. And we really should avoid that. Besides, we got to let the moderates see it for what it is. The Democrats are toxic. We don't want to be toxic like the Democrats. So let's attack Kamala on her record instead of who she is. The cackling, yeah, it's annoying. But we can go and say Kamala's laugh is obnoxious, but I think we all know that. I think the average voter knows that, and let the voter figure out if that's going to be worth it or not. But this is what she has done, and what she will do as president if she takes office in 2025. Here is an ad from the Trump campaign, specifically on Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is inspiring and very capable. The more people get to know her, they're going to be particularly impressed by her ability.
And have we? No. Honestly, when she showed her face, a lot of people just turned their heads away. She didn't even carry a vote. She didn't even carry a county. She didn't even carry a community. She didn't even carry a contest in 2020. And she was forced to drop out. So I'm sorry, Senator Casey, by the way, who's running for re-election. That's not going to work. You got to be kidding me. And yes, the most liberal nominee ever.
GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator.
Yeah, you could say that. A tie between Bernie Sanders and I think there's a difference between progressive and liberal, in my opinion. Yes, Kamala is definitely the most liberal, but most progressive, I want to say Bernie. He is the forefront of the progressive movement, and he's indeed a senator.
Prepare to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. There's no
Yeah, this is what she plans to do.
question I'm in favor of banning fracking. Would you ban?
And all this stuff will ultimately cost Americans in general, workers, millions. Democrats used to oppose this stuff.
Offshore drilling? Yes.
What is
The Democrats used to oppose this, guys. Because they were originally workers' rights. But then they got into this environmental religion climate religion and they say, oh, all this is killing the environment. Let's backtrack, back. And now workers are hurting because now we want to ban offshore drilling. And she does not take in consideration of how that might cost. What that might cost. Transition PA energy workers. What is the solution?
The solution for voters in the fossil fuel industry.
Giving the workers an ability to transition.
We're not going to treat people who are undocumented cross borders criminals. That's
So wait, hang on. Let's go back a sec. This has always confused me, if you will.
Ability to transition.
we're not going to treat people
We're not going to treat people
who are
who are undocumented,
cross borders.
who go across the borders as criminals. Hang on. So you're saying that if I go into your house, or if I go across Canada, into the border of Canada, just me, I'm from Minnesota, I could take a 5-hour drive up north, cross the Canadian border illegally. So easy, guys. And I'm not going to be criminalized by them? Vice versa, I'm from Canada, and I can walk down to Minnesota. You're not going to criminalize me? This is dumb. Every country does this. You're a criminal if you come into the country illegally. This woman prosecutes people that smoke weed. She has prosecuted black people on the most ridiculous stuff. And I mean, it would be sad. It would be really sad if all the black people we've been getting on our ticket, in the Trump Vance ticket, they went back hill. They went back up to the Democrat camp because Kamala is a person of color. That's the propaganda she is pushing. The fact of the matter is Kamala cares about herself. It's all about her. It's all about her story. Her. Because she prosecutes African Americans for every single little thing in San Francisco. And she even prosecuted people for smoking crack, smoking marijuana, and then she was caught smoking marijuana in her own office. It's all about her. And now she has done a 180. She went from purging everyone on the streets of San Francisco like a tyrant to now actually looking people up by their race. It's time to do the change and just let you go. Let you go across the border. Come and go when you need, because we don't know your situation. That's the thing. That's the point, Kamala. We don't know why you're in here. That's why you need to wait, and we need to figure out who you are. And second, you need to go in the front door. Go in legally. Don't go in the back door. First off, we don't know who you are. You don't just go into someone's back door. That's intrusive. If I saw someone walk across my lawn and go through my back door, I would call the police. You're a criminal at that time. You are breaking and entering. You're breaking into our country. And people, they don't like us using that word. It's true. But it's true. It really is. You are breaking and entering. It is international policy. Every country, Poland, Belarus, Russia, Mexico, Ukraine, India, Nepal, Pakistan, Bolivia, Paraguay, Argentina, Brazil, etc. Every single country in the world has border policies, and they're looking at us, and they're looking at you, Kamala. This sentence you just said, that you would not prosecute these individuals who are coming into the country illegally. The word illegal means you are breaking the law. That is illegal. And if you do something illegal, then you could be charged for that. You could be held accountable for that. and therefore you could become a criminal. That's the circumstance. And when people decide for themselves, do you want to be a criminal? Do you want to risk being apprehended by Border Patrol, or do you wish to be caught by just U.S. Officials in general? You have a choice. Go across the border, enter into enemy ground, because you're enemy ground with U.S. Border Patrol, because you're breaking the law, or you could be welcomed in open arms if you went in the other way. Going and doing a big long turn, which seems like forever. Going in the front door seems like forever, but once you get started, you get done sooner. That's what I figured out in my times of experience through hardship. Once you get started, you get done very sooner. But these people don't say it's not worth it. And honestly, sure, they may have encountered a lot of tragedies on their way to the southern border. And we can necessarily never understand why they're coming to our country. We won't understand why. But the Democrats and Kamala suddenly thinks we have to understand, because they are people of color and they are poor. And as white, rich Americans, we have an obligation to let them in, because we are basically, in their minds, and their minds specifically, we're higher than them. They look for us for protection. That's what she's thinking. It's our responsibility to pull the wing and cover these precious, innocent people. Really, it's Mexico's job. It's not our job.
Those criminals, that's correct.
Raise your hand if you think it should be a civil offense rather than a crime to cross the border without documentation.
A civil offense. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. And here's ICE.
ICE, yeah. Is that a position you agree with? And we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
And she literally called them the KKK. She compared ICE, the ICE to the KKK. I'm sorry, ICE has saved lots of lives. And when you start using those terms against these people, no wonder we're going to have assassins that will or murderers that will start to target these people. The liberal media is deranged. And of course, Kamala Harris wants to defund the police. And the logic, like defunding the police in general,
It is wrong-headed thinking to think.
I think it's wrong-headed thinking that you think we don't need the police anymore, Kamala, because you advocated and you started this border crisis where thousands upon thousands of illegal migrants are crossing this border, and there's raping and kidnapping women. This is a woman who claims to be pro-woman. But little does she know, well, she does know very well, but a lot of her supporters are just too tedious to know that this woman's responsible for the rapings and murders of women that have been kidnapped and annihilated at the southern border. Many of these women, students, young women in general, just teenagers, and they are kidnapped by people most we're finding out that are cartels or terrorists in general, criminals from Caracas or Nicaragua or Mexico. It just goes on and on and on. And if this woman really cared about women, then she would have put the woman first and actually said, you know what? We're closing the border. We are going to go after these illegal migrants, just like she did in San Francisco. And I'm not saying going after, here's the thing. If the people she was going after in San Francisco did something wrong or illegal, they deserve to be arrested. No one's above the law. But then again, it's different when you're just being tyrannical because you're bored, or you just don't like your job and don't know how to do your job. But then you do a 180 and you just you play the fairy queen and you don't do anything at all. The mercy princess. Come sit on my lap. Let me scratch your neck. This is ridiculous. And then once you get off my lap, you can go into the country. This is ridiculous.
That the only way you're going to get
Yeah, and here's the thing. Yeah, like I said, the police. Yeah, she started this border crisis. This border crisis will go on when she's elected. Not only that, it will get worse because imagine if she defunds the police. No more police equals more rapings, more murders, more incest, and more crime. Because and the predator of these women, they'll succeed and get away. They will never be caught and they'll never be put to justice. Because this woman says,
Is that a position you agree with? We need to probably think about starting from scratch.
outdated. It is wrong-headed thinking to
says it's wrong-headed thinking. It's just stupid.
think that the only way you're going to get communities to be safe is to put more police officers on.
And it's true, lady. It's true because more police officers, it's not just more police officers, it's also the law. Strengthening the law and changing the law, making the law more strict. So like, okay, I think we're keeping a little too friendly because people are committing more crimes. Let's be more stricter. Let's be more strict. But we don't want to be more strict because the word strict is a pessimistic word in our society. And I don't want it to become that way. But it's true. It's become it's a pessimistic word. We need strict laws because when we have strict laws, we have good order. Good order, and people are safe. We all prosper. But this lady doesn't like strict. If you ask me, all her policies are strict.
Would you support changing the dietary guidelines?
Yes. The food pyramid.
Yes. Yes.
To reduce red meat specifically.
Yes.
People who
Yeah.
are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bombers, on death row, people who are convicted of sexual assault, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
Honestly, I don't even know what to think about that. I mean, if Donald Trump can't vote in his own election, this election that's going to get him into the White House, then why should we let the Boston Marathon bomber vote in an election? Remember, if it's Orange Man, it's okay to violate his rights, but you have to happen to be a rapist or a killer or anything. Someone that has, like some of those, you have to be one of those illegal immigrants that have severed the bodies of innocent women and scattered them across New York City. You're fine, you can vote, but if you're Donald Trump, no, you can't vote because Trump bad, Trump evil. And yeah, it's sad because then again, if Kamala wants to do this, like our friend Don the Lemonade is saying right here, she wants to have a conversation. Well, yeah, no, the conversation is if you want to do this, fine. But that means Donald Trump gets to vote in this election. Oh, I don't want to vote against me. So no, well, actually, no. She will talk about this after the election. That's how strategy works.
Of sexual assault, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
So for people,
yeah, it's just guns. It's just hypocrisy, and we know it, guys. Guns, same thing.
out there who like their insurance, well, they don't get to keep it.
Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
And she just says all that stuff out loud. And you don't even have to, we don't even need edits. Even if, like, imagine that. She just is, there's no taking this woman out of context. It's literally out of context in front of your face. It's not, it's just what she means right to you. In Donald Trump's speech, he at least has context in his speech. This woman has no context. She says, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Could you imagine Donald Trump saying, let's get rid of Social Security right now? Let's get rid of abortion right now. Let's get rid of gay marriage right now. This woman wants to get rid of everything. And we're worried about democracy? Vote for this woman to save democracy? This is the lady that has been inserted into a coup. This is COUPMALA Harris, and this is the woman that will destroy our democracy. This is the woman that's going to take away more freedoms. This is the most authoritarian president in U.S. history. This would be the most authoritarian president in U.S. history. You better believe it. You better believe it. It is true. Donald Trump being the most, no, don't even. Because under Donald Trump, we were thriving. Under Donald Trump, we were gaining money, had a job. We were going to school, put food on the table. We could go to the groceries and come home with a $100 bill. Now we're spending $300. It's ridiculous. Are we thriving? No. And on top of that, we need this woman to take away more of our freedoms away.
I am opposed to any policy.
Methylation impacts
Okay. We are not talking about fixing this up.
how we feel.
But anyway, you get what I'm saying, guys. I know this is going to be a long video because this is the next, this could be the next president of the United States. It hurts me to say that, guys. That's why we need to win this election. We need to win this election. We need to win it. Because if we don't win this election, the GOP is done. This is the election of a lifetime. Election of our lives. The GOP is favored to win this election more than ever. We have a tyrannical woman. Her whole career has been tyrannical. Who has been she has launched a coup and overthrew an election where 14 million Americans voted to elect her boss as the nominee. But she's like, no, screw it. I'm going to be the nominee. And then we have all the problems going on right now. And you think this woman's going to fix them? No! This whole entire ad was about Kamala Harris advocating for these problems. Advocating for the crisis. Voters should be looking at their schedules right now. Okay, when is early voting? What do I have time? How am I going to vote? When can I vote? Which day can I vote? Am I able to vote on election day? What do I have planned in the coming months? Making sure I get to those polls. Make sure my ballot gets into that box so we can stop this woman. Everyone should do this. And I don't want to, and we have a lot of people that say, oh, I have to vote for Kamala Harris because I feel bad because I'm voting against a person of color and a woman. That would make me a sexist, racist. No. This is the narcissist that's coming out of them. This is the narcissistic cons that are coming from the Democrat Party. They're guilt tripping you. And here's the thing. You just have to be a nice person, a loving person, to respect Kamala. Don't hire a hit. Don't be like Thomas Cook and snipe a politician down. Just be nice and respectful. I ultimately believe that Kamala Harris has a right to live, and I wish no harm against her. And I wish no harm against any Democrat politician. And if that ever happens, I would be infuriated and filled with guilt and sorrow and disgust. And knowing that that was one of us that did that would make me more sick. So no, there should be no guilt tripping, because I have some pity for Kamala Harris as a human. As she's a human, she is a sinner. Like Jesus, our Lord and Savior, all love sinners. I have Christian love for you. But I'm sorry, Kamala. You can call me a racist and a narcissist and a bigot all you want. You can utilize your infinity stones of wokeness. But they're not going to work. Because I view you no less than me. I'm a human being. You're a human being. You're not above me. And I'm not above you. We're human. So there really shouldn't be the talk of this, if I don't vote for Kamala Harris, then I am being a racist bigot. No, that is the media propaganda working at its finest. Resist it. Resist it at once. So public health, period. So yeah, this is about illegals.
Picture this.
Oh,
You're sitting at
we
home
just got
alone
rid of
watching
an
YouTube
ad.
videos.
Come on.
Move on. I am opposed to any policy that would deny any human being public health, period.
Well, here's the thing. They can seek public health, but they need to come in the right way. The right way. And it's not that hard. Guys, we learn about how to become a naturalized citizen and come in the right way. You don't even have to be a naturalized citizen. You just have to come in like everyone else. You don't, and that means paying to go into the country. It's a complicated process. I'm not really smart at that process. It takes time though, but it's worth it. And you gotta do the right thing. And Kamala Harris encouraging this, it's like a bribing and continue. She's like tempting these people. Just come in illegally and we'll give you free this and free that. That's going to make more people come over. Come on, Kamala. You're mainly the problem. That policy is bringing more illegal immigrants over. And I'm sorry, many of these illegal immigrants don't even want health care. They want to cause problems. Boo doesn't hit to this woman.
The more people get to know her, they're going to be particularly impressed by her ability.
And am I? No, absolutely not. I'm horrified. I'm scared, guys. I am scared. This election is the election of a lifetime. We need to beat this woman. She is insane. Insane. In fact, I am dead serious. I didn't even know. I can't even say if Joe Biden's the worst president. I can't even say if Barack Obama's the worst president. I go back and forth saying James Buchanan's the worst president, Andrew Johnson, or Millard Fillmore. But I know for sure if this woman, the very first woman of the president of the United States, Kamala Harris, takes office, she would be the worst president in our country, in my opinion. In our conservative opinion. She would be the most far-left president. I personally believe Barack Obama was the most far-left president because he's the reason why we're in this. But anyway, yeah, if she gets in, it's going to get 10 times worse. It's going to turn into a left-wing revolution. So that's why we need to go out in droves. Get your neighbors out, guys. Talk to them, even if it makes them uncomfortable. Do this for America. Tell them about Kamala Harris and tell them that you have sympathy for your well-being. I have sympathy for you, and I hope you have sympathy for me. And I know if we get out and vote, America will change. The economy will get better. And we can get the immigration crisis under control. But if we let this woman leave and think that she can't win, a lot of people think she can't win, and if we let our guard down, she suddenly sneaks a pass across us, and she wins out of the blue, we're screwed. We are screwed. You blew it because a bunch of Republicans thought we could beat her. No, this woman is dangerous, and she must be stopped. Her pathways to victory must be dismantled. We must construct and utilize everything, every method to our advantage. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching this very long video. And of course, I'll see you all in the next political episode.